Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Genevieve.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karina, and welcome to our next Ask die Englisch-Expertinnen session. Wie geht's dir heute, Genevieve?
Naja, also es ist Montag halt, aber gut. Besser als letzte Woche. Und
Gut.
dir?
Mir geht's gut, danke. Ich erzähle dir auch gleich etwas mehr in einem kleinen Dialog.
Ja, wow. Okay, so this morning we are going to start with a mini dialogue. So I and Karina will have a little dialogue, and we would like you to listen very, very carefully to this dialogue, especially to the verbs that we use in the dialogue. So we would like you to just listen, try to understand, and ask yourself what is special about the verbs that we are using in the dialogue. Vielleicht ganz kurz auf Deutsch, Karina?
Ja, wir beginnen jetzt direkt mit einem kleinen Dialog und ihr sollt ganz genau zuhören und darauf achten, was ist Besonderes an diesem Dialog und vor allem in Bezug auf die Verben.
Okay, wollen wir anfangen?
Yes, let's go. So, Genevieve, I woke up really early this morning and I found it really hard to get up.
Well, you know what they say, the early bird catches the worm.
Yeah, I know, but when I tried to work out, I was really unmotivated.
Well, maybe you should look into doing yoga instead.
Hang on. Isn't yoga really relaxing? I might just be so relaxed that I'd pass out.
Yeah, but you can stand up if you're feeling too relaxed and try some different poses.
Okay, maybe I'll try that out. Thanks.
No worries.
Okay, so did you notice what types of verbs we used in this dialogue?
Might be quite tricky because there was a few different verbs, different types of verbs in there, and different tenses as well. Okay. Well, if nobody knows, we will tell you. We will tell you. They are phrasal verbs.
Hey! Very good.
Really, really good. Okay. But then the question is, well, what are phrasal verbs? What are they? What is the difference between a phrasal verb and a verb? Yeah, because we've spoken a lot about verbs in the past, but phrasal verbs is when you take a verb and you add it to something else, and it looks like a phrase, or it looks like it's more than one part, but it behaves just like a verb. I mean, think of it maybe like a cocktail, if anyone likes cocktails. Do you like cocktails, Karina?
I do like cocktails.
And I remember one of my favorite cocktails from the past was this. It's a famous one with Kahlua and milk. And if you have milk, okay, that tastes like milk and it's very healthy. But you add the Kahlua, and it makes this whole new experience, this whole new drink. And I think that's a good way to think about phrasal verbs, that you have two separate parts, they have two different meanings, but when you put them together, you create a whole new meaning with this adverb, with this phrasal verb. Okay?
Wow, I've never heard such a tasty description of phrasal verbs. Okay, falls ihr euch fragt, warum wir so früh am Montagmorgen über Cocktails sprechen, es geht eigentlich um phrasal verbs und ich wiederhole es einmal auf Deutsch, damit es hier keine Missverständnisse gibt. Ihr könnt phrasal verbs wie einen Cocktail sehen. Genevieve mag sehr gerne einen Cocktail, der aus Milch und Kahlua ist es, besteht. Und wenn man diese Zutaten einzeln betrachtet, haben sie komplett unterschiedliche Bedeutung oder sind Zutaten aus ganz verschiedenen Kategorien. Aber sobald man sie zusammenpackt, entsteht eine neue Bedeutung daraus. Und das sind die phrasal verbs.
Genau, lecker, oder?
Ja. Okay, super. Das heißt, diese phrasal verbs, aus welchen Zutaten bestehen sie dann?
Ja, genau, sehr lecker, sehr lecker. So we have 3 different types, and the first 2 types, you can create them by adding a verb plus an adverb or a verb plus a preposition. And an example would be to give up, to give up. And how would we say give up in German?
Aufgeben.
Aufgeben. That's very close. And then the third type is when you have a verb plus an adverb plus a preposition. So to give up on. And how would you say to give up on in German?
Ja, it's also aufgeben, aber es ist etwas Spezifisches aufgeben. Zum
Okay.
Beispiel, maybe you can give an example sentence in English and I can give the German.
Yeah. Sometimes we say to give up on something or to give up on someone. So maybe like in a friendship and somebody is always doing something bad or they're letting you down and they're disappointing you and you could say, "Oh, I'm just going to give up on that friendship. There's no point investing any more time or energy. I'm giving up on that friendship."
Mhm. Ich habe diese Freundschaft aufgegeben. Ich gebe auf.
Yeah, not investing any more time
Mhm.
or energy. Yeah.
Aber wie ihr da schon sehen könnt, im Englischen gibt es da 2 Teile noch dazu. Also nicht nur ein Aufgeben, sondern auch noch ein On. Give up on. Und da könnt ihr schon bemerken, es korreliert nicht immer ganz genau mit dem Deutschen. Und deswegen sind phrasal verbs eine von diesen Dingen, die man auswendig lernen muss. Aber es gibt natürlich immer wieder Tricks, die euch dabei helfen. Zum Beispiel einen Kontext zu haben. Und wenn ihr euch den Dialog anschaut, ja, wir haben es schon verraten. Ich dachte kurz, habe ich es verraten? Nein, wir haben es schon gesagt. Dann werdet ihr sehen, dass es super ist, diese Verben im Kontext, zum Beispiel mit Hilfe eines Dialogs zu lernen.
Genau, genau. So, will we look at the dialogue again and this time ask a different question?
Yes, we are going to read this dialogue again, and this time you should listen closely to find out how many phrasal verbs are there.
Yeah. So
Also,
just count how many phrasal verbs do we use in the dialogue. Okay.
okay, let's do it again. Genevieve, I woke up really early this morning and I found it really hard to get up.
Well, Karina, you know what they say, the early bird catches the worm.
Yeah, I know, but when I tried to work out, I was really unmotivated.
Well, maybe you should look into doing yoga instead.
Hang on. Isn't yoga really relaxing? I might just be too relaxed and pass out.
You can stand up if you're feeling too relaxed and try some different poses.
Okay, maybe I'll try that out. Thanks.
Okay. So, I mean, did anyone count as we were talking? Any guesses? How many phrasal verbs did we use in our little dialogue? Okay, Albert says 7. Lots of 7s. Interesting. We did count these, didn't we, Karina?
Yes, I was sure now because there are so many 7s, but you are very close.
Okay,
And
7.
I can imagine where the 7 comes from, but I see it. 8. That was the first answer with 8, Bastel. And it's right. We had 8 phrasal verbs, and we're going to speak about all of them. And then you can see which one you missed out on.
Yes.
Out on. Okay.
Missed
This was a
out
phrasal
on
verb.
something. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so before we go through each phrasal verb, my big question for you, Karina, is do you have phrasal verbs in German?
Kind of. So in German, they're not really phrasal verbs. I will explain this in German, Genevieve. You will understand and our listeners will understand better. Im Deutschen haben wir keine phrasal verbs, sondern eher Präpositionsverben. Und ihr kennt zum Beispiel die Verben ankommen, bekommen und kleine Präfixe, die ihr vor das Verb setzt. Diese Konstruktion hat eine sehr ähnliche Bedeutung wie die phrasal verbs im Englischen. Und im Deutschen gibt es auch etwas Besonderes. Damit tun sich meistens die Deutschlernenden schwer. Und zwar haben wir trennbare und nicht trennbare Verben. Zum Beispiel das Paradebeispiel umfahren. Ihr wisst, im Deutschen hat umfahren 2 Bedeutungen. Einmal jemanden umfahren und ihn dabei ins Krankenhaus bringen danach. Oder umfahren, drum herumfahren. Der Unterschied ist, dass eins davon trennbar ist. Also ich fahre jemanden um ist etwas anderes, als ich umfahre jemanden. Lange Rede, kurzer Sinn. Im Deutschen gibt es diese kleinen Präfixe als Bedeutungsunterschied. Im Englischen drücken wir es durch kein Suffix, sondern das Adverb oder die Präposition am Ende aus. Und deswegen kann man es nie wirklich 1:1 übersetzen, weil wir für einen grammatikalischen Zweck verschiedene Arten haben, um es auszudrücken.
Yeah.
Does this make sense, Genevieve?
Super erklärt.
Okay, good.
Thank you. I wish you were my German teacher, Karina.
Oh, I can be. Let's speak about this later.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so now that we know about the structure and we know about how you would express these verbs in German, let's take a look at each of the verbs from our dialogue. So the first one we had was wake up. So I woke up, or Karina woke up really early this morning. And for wake up, you cannot separate this. Yeah. So I woke up yesterday, or I woke up early this morning. I wake up early every day. If you have this meaning of aufwachen, then it is inseparable. You cannot separate wake and up. They have to stay together. Okay. But this is the interesting thing. Just like Karina's example with umfahren, it is possible to separate wake up, but then the meaning changes. So let's just say, like this morning, I had to wake my daughter up. She was so tired from the party that she went to yesterday, and that she didn't get up by herself. So I had to wake my daughter up. So in that sense, the German translation would be wecken. So the verb, the meaning actually changes when you separate wake up.
Das ist aber eigentlich super für uns, die Deutsch sprechen, weil wir haben zwar 2 Verben dafür, aufwachen, also I wake up, oder jemanden wecken, I wake someone up. Also eigentlich schwieriger für dich, Genevieve, weil du müsstest 2 Wörter lernen und wir wissen einfach nur wake up. Und wir wissen, man kann es trennen und einfach die Person da reinstecken quasi, grammatikalisch, die man aufwecken möchte. Okay, das ist easy.
Okay, so the next one in the dialogue, this is your one, Karina?
Yes. The next one is to get up. And I said, I found it really hard to get up. Also aufstehen, aufwachen. Zuerst wacht man auf, dann steht man auf. And Genevieve, could I say to stand up?
Nope.
Why not? Can you explain the difference?
Yes, so this is a big difference, and I think this is a problem that happens with the German. It gets confused with the German. So if you say to get up, that really means when you're asleep and you wake up and then you put your feet out of the bed and then maybe you stand up then, but the getting up is basically saying aufstehen, that you're getting out of your bed. But the stand up, I know in German it's the same word, aufstehen and aufstehen, but stand up really means if you are sitting and then
you stand up.
You stand up. And it's a small little difference. But if you say I stand up at 8 o'clock in the morning, it makes no sense to an English native speaker. It's to get up in the morning. And if you're in a meeting and you're sitting down, but you stand up to speak.
And if you're in a meeting and you say, I just get up for a second, it means you fell asleep in the meeting.
Well, you can, but that's the thing. In the meeting context, you can still say to get up. That's the interesting point. If you're talking about the meeting, you can still say, I'm just going to get up for a moment, but stand up would be better.
Okay. Also, hier haben wir es genau andersrum. Wir haben im Deutschen das Wort aufstehen, was sich einmal darauf bezieht, morgens früh, ich wache auf und dann stehe ich auf. Oder aufstehen, ich sitze jetzt und ich stehe auf. Im Englischen gibt es dafür 2 Begriffe. Und im morgendlichen Kontext benutzt man get up. Und was wir als deutsche MuttersprachlerInnen oft machen, ist zu erklären, ja, today I woke up at 7, then I stood up. Und das klingt ganz seltsam und es hat nicht die Bedeutung, die wir, okay, Genevieve, graut es schon. Also wir wollen das nicht machen. Wir wollen sagen, in the morning I get up. Und Stand-up eher wirklich deine Füße aufstellen und deinen Hintern anheben und los geht's. Genau. Okay, gut.
Okay, so the next one was to work out. And this is another very interesting one. So the sentence was, when I tried to work out, I was really unmotivated. And this is basically, I don't know, whatever you do in the morning, you do your exercise, you lift weights, maybe you use a skipping rope or a hula hoop like I do. And this is really to do like your own version of sport. So in the morning, just to wake your body up, for example, that's to work out. But what happens to work out when you separate it? So work out, if you mean to do exercise, you don't separate. You cannot separate. But if you do separate it, the meaning changes. And to work something out would be to solve a problem. Yeah, to solve a problem. This is a very, very different meaning. And how would you say that in German?
Okay, also das Wort oder den Begriff Workout kennt ihr bestimmt, weil der oft schon im Deutschen benutzt wird, ob es im Fitnessstudio ist oder in irgendwelchen Apps oder in Werbungen, die bekommt. Das ist Sport oder Fitness machen. Aber to work something out, also to work it out, heißt eher etwas wie ein Problem lösen. Und das kann, im Deutschen haben wir da, glaube ich, kein Wort, was für diese ganzen Bedeutungen zutrifft wie im Englischen. Es hängt vom Kontext ab. Zum Beispiel etwas herausarbeiten sehe ich da gerade. Es kann etwas herausarbeiten sein. Herausarbeiten wäre ja, wenn wir vielleicht einen langen Text haben, einen komplizierten, und da wollen wir die wichtigen Informationen rausnehmen und herausarbeiten, würde ich sagen. Aber es könnte auch was anderes sein, zum Beispiel, Genevieve, let's speak about the topic for next week. And yeah, there are some challenges, but we're gonna work it out.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, don't worry, we'll work it out. And you can also talk about it in relationships. Remember, I talked about the relationship. To give up on a relationship, you could give up
Mhm.
on it, or you could try to work it out or to work things out.
Mhm. Das heißt, in dem ersten Beispiel, was wir jetzt hatten, Genevieve und ich bereiten das nächste Thema vor und ich sage: „Oh, es gibt aber viele Challenges, Herausforderungen." Und sie sagt: „Keine Sorge, we'll work it out." Wir schaffen das schon. Seht ihr, ist es auch etwas wie schaffen oder, ja,
Oder wir
eine
kriegen das
Lösung
hin.
finden?
Sagt
Bitte?
man, wir kriegen das hin?
Wir kriegen das hin. Ja.
Ja,
Mhm. Was hinkriegen, Lösungen suchen, erarbeiten, sehe ich da grade. Ja,
genau.
also es gibt verschiedene Möglichkeiten und die passen alle.
Ja, super.
Ausgearbeitet, ja, auch etwas ausarbeiten. Und da seht ihr wieder, wir hatten erarbeiten, herausarbeiten, ausarbeiten, waren alle eure Vorschläge und die passen alle.
Ja,
Und im Deutschen haben wir halt das Wort arbeiten und davor wird das Präfix gesetzt, was minimale Bedeutungsunterschiede anzeigen kann. Im
genau,
Englischen gibt's dafür die phrasal verbs, über die wir sprechen.
genau. Okay, I think the next one is you, Karina.
Yes. So the next one was look into. Genevieve said you should look into doing yoga instead. One moment.
Very
Now
good.
you can see it. Perfect. Okay, so look is also a very interesting phrasal verb because there are so many different options of what you can add to look. Look into doing yoga would be like, mm, du kannst dir das mal anschauen oder es auch ausprobieren, right?
Yeah, it can be, it's so many meanings, like recherchieren, ausprobieren,
Like give it a
anschauen.
try. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe look for a class, do some research online, see if it's something that would be good for you, see if you read a little bit about it, you might like it. So, yeah, kind of like researching, doing your homework
Mhm.
about.
But now, Genevieve, you said look for a class and you used a different one.
Exactly. And I think look is part of so many phrasal verbs. I know that Todd and Maren did a whole session on this with some of you
Mhm.
last year. And look can be combined with so many prepositions and adverbs to create different phrasal verbs. So to look for something is fast suchen, oder?
Ja,
Einfach suchen. Yeah.
I remember a funny moment in this context. So, what was it? It was about doing like looking after kids in the United States. Like, what is it called? I can't remember.
Au pair or nanny?
Yes, au pair. Yes, I couldn't remember the word. Okay. Exactly. I went on a high school year in the States, but also there were options to go as an Au pair. Also viele junge Menschen machen ja eigentlich jetzt Gebrauch von dieser Option, als Au pair im Ausland zu arbeiten, das heißt, da auf Kinder aufzupassen. Und aufpassen ist das Wort, was jetzt wichtig ist, denn es gab mal einen Fall, da kam ein Au pair, passte auf die Kinder auf und die Mutter rief an und fragte, wie läuft's denn mit den Kindern? How is it going with the kids? And this girl answered, good, I'm looking for them.
Oh, okay. But she was supposed to say, I'm looking after them.
Exactly.
But the mother thought she lost the children.
Yes. This relationship didn't turn out out very well because of this huge misunderstanding. Die Mutter dachte, sie sucht nach den Kindern, aber sie passte auf sie auf. Und deswegen ist es wichtig, den Unterschied zwischen look for, suchen, und look after, aufpassen zu kennen. Und auch andere phrasal verbs, die ihr in eurem eigenen Kontext und in eurem eigenen Leben häufig verwendet.
Genau. Wow. Okay. Will we move on to the next one?
Mhm.
Okay, the next one is hang on. Hang on. And don't worry, Georg, I'm going to go back to your comment. I saw a comment from Georg about a Bob Marley song.
I see it.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. You read my mind. Okay, let's look at hang on. So the sentence from our dialogue was, hang on, isn't yoga really relaxing? And I just, in German, I just love it. It's like, warte mal, warte mal.
Yeah, warte.
Yeah, so hang on. It really is just a little thing that we say, like, it's like wait. So wait, or wait a minute, hang on. And this is inseparable. You cannot separate this if you want the meaning to be warte mal. It's just hang on. Now, you can also say to hang a picture on the wall, yeah? And that would mean you separate it and it changes meaning. And that would just be in German aufhängen.
Ja.
Ja, aufhängen.
Oder ein Bild an die Wand hängen.
Ein Bild. Yeah, okay. Ein Bild an die Wand hängen. Okay. And then the other verb that's quite similar, so different adverb that's connected to it, but to hang out is inseparable. You cannot separate it. And it means, I'm trying to think of another verb for hang out, to socialize, to spend time with, to hang out with friends would be to spend time with friends. So that's another phrasal verb using hang plus out. Rumhängen.
Rumhängen. I think rumhängen is a little bit different though.
This is the thing. I think hang around.
I understand. Yeah, hang around. Hang out would be rather etwas zusammen unternehmen. So maybe Genevieve, let's hang out tomorrow. I have so much to tell you. Lass uns morgen Zeit miteinander verbringen. Weil rumhängen klingt schon so entspannt oder faul, wie auch immer ihr es interpretieren möchtet. Hangout muss nicht unbedingt dieses Entspannte sein. Es kann auch sein, let's hang out and do inline skating.
Exactly. And I think if I hear hang around oder rumhängen, I think of teenagers down at the, I don't know, at the supermarket or the football field, and there's no school and they're just hanging around. They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything useful. So, but yeah, Albert, there to hang out with, excellent phrasal verb, to hang out with someone. To spend time with someone. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we could hang out and do yoga, but I'm worried that it's so relaxing, I might just pass out.
Yeah.
Das ist unser nächstes phrasal verb, pass out. And pass out, is it like ohnmächtig werden oder umkippen? This is the meaning I knew for it.
Jein. So in this example, it doesn't mean umkippen, okay? Because a lot of yoga you do when you are on the ground, not all, but when you're on the ground, you are doing different exercises, and then you might close your eyes and do some breathing. And to pass out, it really just means like you're so relaxed that you just fall asleep. You don't want to fall asleep, but you're just so relaxed that you just you just fall asleep. And I think einschlafen is the closest in that example. What do you think?
I think so, einschlafen oder wegdösen, sowas. Ich sehe
Oh,
auch aussteigen. Aussteigen kommt drauf an, wenn du es als mental in dem Moment siehst und so abschalten.
that would more be to tune out, which is also
Aha,
a phrasal verb. To tune out would be, yeah, abschalten or to switch off. To switch
okay.
off.
Switch off, okay. Das wäre dann mental aussteigen, genau.
Yeah. But pass
Aussteigen,
out
aber nicht
really, sorry, pass out really in this context means just to fall into a sleep when you don't want to. You're not thinking, oh, I will go to sleep now, but you're so relaxed that you
mhm,
fall asleep.
genau, also einfach wegdösen quasi.
Yeah.
Aussteigen nicht in dem Sinne aufgeben, sondern wirklich, ja, abschweifen habe ich dann wieder im Kopf, aber nein, es ist abschweifen war switch off.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. Switch off my
Switch off my
battery.
batteries.
That
Nickerchen machen ist take a nap. Take a nap.
exactly. Exactly. And that is mit Absicht. So I lie on the couch and I take a nap. But for this case, I'm doing yoga. I'm not supposed to fall asleep, but I do. I just einpennen, I guess.
Ja, einpennen, sehr umgangssprachlich im Deutschen,
Yeah.
aber
Mhm.
mhm.
It's a tricky one. But the other meaning really is, you're correct, is ohnmächtig oder umkippen. So, if an example would be before she gave her presentation, she was so nervous that she passed out, for example. That would be another more serious
Poor
meaning.
girl.
Yeah.
Okay, es kann auch ohnmächtig
Yeah.
werden heißen. Like sometimes when I go to the doctors, I pass out.
Really?
Happens to me. Yes, I know this word very well because I'm always like, don't worry, doctors, I might pass out. It's not your fault. It happens.
Karina.
But it's okay. The most important thing, and this was something I confused this verb with the first time I saw it, was pass away. And this is a completely different meaning.
Yeah, that's sterben.
Yeah, I think it's still important to know because when I was in school, I learned the word die, also sterben, to die. Aber ein Weg, um das nicht so direkt und harsh auszudrücken, ist pass away. Ich hoffe
Genau.
natürlich, dass ihr dieses Verb nicht hören oder erleben müsst jetzt und benutzen müsst. Aber falls ihr das mal hört, ist pass away eine Form, um sterben
Genau.
zu sagen.
Mehr so neutral.
Mhm.
Okay, and then just to quickly go back to another meaning for pass out,
Mhm.
verteilen. So this is completely different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this can be separable or it can be separable. It can be separated. So to pass the documents out. Yeah, or you can also say to pass out the document. So in a meeting, I give a document or a piece of paper to everyone. Verteilen. I pass the documents, pass the papers out.
Okay, that makes sense. Like also
Okay.
hand out.
To hand out, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Now, Georg. So the next one is stand up. Yeah, so in the dialogue, it was you can stand up if you're feeling too relaxed. So when you're lying down and you feel like you're going to pass out, just stand up. Aufstehen, steh auf. Now, there is another phrasal verb that has something else added to it. So stand up for. And if you know the Bob Marley song, I hope I'm not going to sing it, but it's get
Oh,
up,
come on,
get
please.
up, stand up. And then it's stand up for your rights or stand up for your life. Georg, help me. Maybe it's both stand up for your life or stand up for your rights. And I don't know the German translation for this, but if you believe in something, you should stand up for this belief or stand up for someone.
Dahinter stehen, hinter etwas stehen
Okay.
oder sich für etwas einsetzen. Because it's more active, right?
More active, exactly. So you stand up for something that you believe in. Yes, I see. Sigrid.
Einstehen, sich für etwas einsetzen haben wir auch. Mhm.
And then einstehen, would you say, is also a good translation?
Yes, I think it can also work. I don't think it's so common. So
Okay. But yeah, so this is a good example of having the verb plus two particles attached to it, and it's still a phrasal verb. And another example would be to look forward to. Yeah, to look forward to something. Can you remember what the German translation for that is?
For look forward, yes,
Yeah.
sich auf etwas freuen.
Exactly.
And for this, I can also give you one tip you can pay attention to because it's a very common mistake, sehr typischer Fehler. I look forward to seeing you or meeting you or hanging out with you. Im Englischen haben wir danach die ING-Form. Das klingt für uns etwas unnatürlich und deswegen machen diesen Fehler auch ganz viele. Aber ihr habt diese Phrase ganz oft am Ende einer E-Mail.
Genau.
Thank you, I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Exactly.
Kind
Exactly.
regards.
And I think the confusion comes because sometimes you can say, I look forward to meeting you, or I am looking forward to meeting you. And I think we have in our minds, you can't have two ings in the same sentence. But with look forward to, we always take an ing in the verb that follows. So it's really, really important.
Okay. Good. And then we had one last phrasal verb in our dialogue, and that was try out. I said, maybe I'll try that out. And this is actually easy for German speakers because it's like ausprobieren. Ich probiere etwas aus. I try something out.
Genau. Yeah, that's the easiest one, I think.
Yeah, that's easy. Okay, perfect. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I hope you could understand all the explanations for all of those phrasal verbs. And I think, I mean, sometimes it might seem difficult to remember all of these different verbs because if you just take the verb look or hang or wake, those are quite easy, especially for you wonderful English learners. And I can imagine that when you're trying to think, oh, was it look for or look into, that might be tricky, but it's really important to learn in context, in Zusammenhang. So learn a sentence. Don't just learn look for or look into. Learn it as part of a sentence, and then hopefully you can remember it better. And another trick would be just to take one verb, like look or get, and try to think of all the different phrasal verbs that you can create from just this core root verb.
Genevieve schlägt vor, dass ihr diese Verben immer im Kontext lernt. Das ist wirklich wichtig, weil es tatsächlich schwer ist, einfach nur eine Liste mit Präpositionen auswendig zu lernen. Da kommt ihr durcheinander, dann benutzt ihr den falschen Kontext und es gibt Missverständnisse. Und es ist viel zu kompliziert, macht auch keinen Spaß. Deswegen, ihr könnt diese Verben im Kontext, so wie hier im Dialog lernen, aber ihr könnt auch ein Verb nehmen, zum Beispiel look, und dann schauen, welche Präpositionen dazukommen können. Look for, after und so weiter. Daraus aber wieder einen Kontext kreieren. Und am besten auch einen Kontext, der für euer Leben irgendwie relevant ist. Also wenn wir zum Beispiel look for haben und ihr seid jemand, der super vergesslich ist und jeden Morgen sucht ihr eure Autoschlüssel, dann wäre euer Satz vielleicht, every morning I have to look for my car keys. Have to
Perfect.
look for.
Yeah, so make it really personal. The more personal you make the sentences, the better you will remember them.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we have time for a few quiz questions, Karina. What do you think?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay, and I think the first one is also a song. You can sing if you like.
I shouldn't, because then I will give away the answer.
That is true. That is true. So this is a lyric from a very, very famous song. And you need to tell us what is missing. What is missing from this lyric? So is it wake me out before you go go, wake me on before you go go, or wake me up before you go go?
You cannot even say it without singing. Okay, I see many right answers.
Yeah.
The first one, Karen, very good. It's answer C, wake me up before you go go. I will listen to the song after this class to motivate myself to go through the day.
Okay, I'm going to show the second question, and this is for you, Karina. You want to read it out?
Yes. What are you doing this weekend? Would you like to hang with me? Is it up, out, or forward?
Mhm. I see lots of B's. Lots of people think it's would you like to hang out?
Yes, it's would you like to hang out? Very good. Hang out
Really,
with me. Mhm.
really, really good. Okay, the next one. So the next one is I know you have to go, but please hang for one more minute. I know you have to go, but please hang for one more minute. Please hang on for one more minute, or please hang up for one more minute. Mhm. Okay, lots and lots of B's, and the B's are correct. Please hang on for one more minute. So please just wait for one more minute. If you choose hang up, now we didn't really look at this meaning of hang up before. So if you say to someone hang up, that's when you're on the telephone. Exactly. Auflegen. So that would make no sense. I know you have to go, but please hang up for one more minute. Oh, okay.
Or
Bye.
like for 1 minute, okay.
That would not make much sense. But please hang on. Please wait. That is correct. Okay, I think we'll do one more because we're running out of time. You can read this one.
Okay. The last one is I'm really looking forward our session next week. Is it off, on, or to?
Mhm.
Wow, I love it. There is so much participation.
Brilliant. Really great. Okay. Brilliant. And so I'm really looking forward to our session next week. And remember, if we had a verb in there, so I'm really looking forward to doing our session next week. If there was a verb, then it would be in the ing form because of look forward to.
Great. So that was our quiz and our session for today. Thank you so much for participating. And we have one last announcement to make. On February 21st, we have our 100th Session, unsere 100. Session. Und deswegen möchten wir, dass ihr eure Fragen stellt. Also kommentiert gerne, was ihr wissen möchtet, worüber ihr reden möchtet, damit wir uns darauf vorbereiten können und ihr nach dieser Session ohne Fragen oder vielleicht noch mehr Fragen für die nächste nach Hause gehen könnt.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much for participating today. We hope you enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to seeing you all next time.
Me too. Looking forward to seeing you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.